Since the franchise's inception, fans of the Pokemon series have been enthralled by legendary Pokemon. These awe-inspiring titans, veritable and sometimes literal gods of the Pokemon world, boast not only sky-high stats and devastating special moves, but also some of the most interesting lore in the games. Thus, to celebrate the release of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, as well as the upcoming launch of Pokemon Legends Arceus, let's take a look at the legendary Pokemon of the Sinnoh region and the unique relationships they share with each other. Move over, Mount Olympus. Mount Coronet's got its own family of gods who might possibly be the most legendary of legendary Pokemon. I'm Caboose with the Leaderboard, and this is Pokemon Diamond and Pearl's legendary family tree. In the beginning, there was nothing, and then there was an egg. From this egg hatched the almighty Arceus, progenitor of the Pokemon universe, the one Mon to rule them all. You may know the Lamb of God, but this llama really is God. The good book, or good Pokédex, describes Arceus as the Pokemon that shaped the universe with its 1,000 arms, making it the grandpappy not only to all Pokemon, but all life in the universe as we know it, and its godliness doesn't stop at its powers of creation either. In battle, Arceus commands a might worthy of its divine stature, boasting higher stats than any Pokemon in existence other than souped up power forms, which are kind of cheating anyway. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Mega Mewtwo and Ultra Necrozma. While it may seem a little strange that an actual, literal god is a mere normal type, Arceus has a special trick up its sleeve. Its ability, Multi-Type, which lets it freely change its type at will by equipping various items known as plates, with each plate corresponding to one of the 17 Pokemon types. This gives it unrivaled versatility as well as unrivaled coverage, as equipping a plate also changes the type of judgment. Arceus's wickedly strong signature attack, ensuring the original one as it's known, can cut down any foe that dares to stand before it.
Everything is ready for the creation of a new world. And now everything will end, and there will be a new beginning.
But what is a god without its subjects? Balancing the universe is quite a task, asked Thanos, even for a divine being. And so to assist it in ruling over all of existence, Arceus created a trio of legendary Pokemon to preside over space, time, and antimatter respectively. Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, better known as the featured mascot legendaries for Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. The first of the triplets, known sometimes as the Creation Trio because, Dialga possesses dominion over time, being able to speed it up, slow it down, or even stop it altogether. It's even said that time will cease its flow permanently if Dialga's heart ever stops, so let that be a warning to any would-be Pokepoachers out there. This is perhaps why it chooses to dwell in a dimension of its own creation most of the time, only emerging when its powers are required. Dialga is fiercely protective of its territory, however. Trainers gearing up to catch it must be prepared to face its Roar of Time attack, a primal cry which distorts time itself. And Arceus helps you if it loses control of its abilities and enters its corrupted primal Dialga form. Your time will be up in the blink of an eye. You can't weave the fabric of space-time without space, and that's where Dialga's sibling, Palkia, comes in. Palkia's command of space ranges from the crude, using its spatial run technique to tear open gashes in reality and dismantle would-be aggressors, to the delicate, creating alternate realities and folding space in on itself to traverse long distances instantly, but always with a mastery which seems to declare, "This is my world, you're just living in it." Unfortunately for Papa Arceus, Palkia does not get along with its sibling Dialga, and the violent clashes the two engage in have proven to be so cataclysmic that the two must be kept apart at all costs. Hence why Palkia also prefers to reside in a pocket dimension far from any punk-ass diamond dragon that might disturb its peace. Rounding out the creation trio is Giratina, the literal black sheep of the family. Old Tina rules over antimatter, which in this context refers to everything which doesn't fall under the umbrella of space and time. Essentially, it's a dark inverse of Palkia and Dialga, so much so that it even has an entire universe of its own, the Distortion World, a twisted parody of its siblings' natural universe that's perpetually shrouded in shadow and where the laws of physics and nature don't seem to apply. While in the Distortion World, Giratina is free to take on its worm-like origin form, which shows just how powerful the beast is when on its own turf. If it ventures outside of its domain, however, Giratina must assume its altered form to compensate for the change in gravity and pressure, acting as sort of a power limiter which constrains its true might. However, giving it the Grisius Orb, an item originating from its home, allows it to stay in origin form indefinitely, giving it the leg up in battle despite its lack of legs. The tricky thing about giving unstoppable beings free will is dealing with the instances in which they shirk their godly duties to go at each other's throats, throwing off the balance of your perfect universe in the process. Thanos would be pissed. In order to deal with this little conundrum, Arceus created another set of Pokemon who would act as a sort of leash for the creation trio whenever they went aggro, calming down and even controlling them when necessary. Enter the Lake Guardians, 3 Psychic-type Pokemon named Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, each residing in one of Sinnoh's 3 Great Lakes and named after the personal pronouns you, me, and us. Whereas the creation trio presided over the metaphysical forces of the universe, the Lake Guardians instead represent mental faculties, specifically knowledge, emotion, and willpower, which they're said to have granted to the first humans who walked the earth. Of course, what can be granted can also be taken away, and the trio isn't shy about repossessing their brain gifts from anyone who seeks to harm them. Uxie can wipe the memories of anyone who gazes into its normally shut eyes, Mesprit curses aggressors with eternal apathy and emptiness within 3 days of laying a hand on it, and Azelf can just straight up sap your will to fight if it senses impending conflict. Not too shabby for a bunch of tiny sprites, huh? This impressive display of mental magic aside, the Guardian's true power is to, of course, muzzle Dialga, Palkia, and occasionally Giratina when they get particularly rowdy. This is done by channeling the power of the gems on their foreheads, and unfortunately this makes them a prime target for enterprising humans hoping to control the divine dragons. If captured, their gems can be harvested to create a red chain, which basically serves as a crystalline leash to bend the rulers of space, time, and antimatter to your will. While they answer only to Arceus, the cruelty of man never ceases to find new ways to spit in the face of the Holy Order.
They can't resist. It's impossible to break free from the red chain that contains the original powers.
But Arceus has one more child to speak of, an ugly SOB who embodies the Earth's molten core, Heatran. Despite itself being made out of the sturdiest of steels, the immense heat generated by Heatran's furnace-like body and magma blood gives it the appearance of being constantly melting, a gruesome sight indeed. Heatran lords over Stark Mountain, an active volcano on Sinnoh's eastern edge which attracts strong trainers and Pokemon like flies to honey. While it possesses a violent temper, Heatran is kept at bay by the presence of the Magma Stone, a sort of offering which, if removed from Stark Mountain, could cause the beast to rampage and the volcano to erupt, covering Sinnoh in a torrent of magma and ash. That's one stone better left unturned. If it was an Infinity Stone though, I mean, you know Thanos is coming for that. Now that we're done with the clan Arceus, let's move on to the head of a much different family. Regigigas is the proud patriarch of the legendary Titans, a group consisting of the Hoenn region's Regirock, Registeel, and Regice, and the Galar region's Regieleki and Regidrago. Now you may be thinking, that's one spread out family, but I'll tell you, I'm actually thinking that is one incredibly hard to pronounce family. But get this, according to ancient Sinnoh legend, Regigigas is the one to break apart the ancient Giga continent Pangea and move each region into its present-day place by dragging them with massive ropes. That would definitely explain why its children are scattered to the corners of the world, a tropical region and a wintry one at that. Mr. Gigas himself is a bit of a heavy sleeper though, and the only way to rouse him from his slumber in the Snow Point Temple is with a good old-fashioned family reunion. Only when the other Titans are gathered will Regigigas show its true power and provide trainers with a chance to complete the Regi family tree. Sinnoh's legendary family seem to be prone to sibling drama, as exemplified with another squabbling pair, the Psychic-type Cresselia and its Dark-type mythical Pokemon counterpart, Darkrai. Despite Darkrai's ghastly appearance, it's far from malevolent, preferring to simply be left alone by humans and Pokemons alike. Unfortunately, its mere presence causes those around it to fall into a deep, nightmarish slumber, which puts it at odds with Cresselia, a guardian of hope and pleasant dreams who's known to chase Darkrai away from prospective victims and cure the nightmares it leaves in its wake. These two are sometimes known by fans as the Lunar Duo thanks to Cresselia's crescent moon motifs and Darkrai's association with the pitch black new moon. And while it's never been officially confirmed, the Lunar Duo may in fact be an offspring of Giratina, Master of Shadows, and Dreamlike Realities. The final branches left to cover on Sinnoh's gnarled, dichotomous legendary family tree belong to a couple of mythical Pokemon representing the land and sea, and let's get the simpler one out of the way first. Shaman may look like a cute little chia pet, but instead of having flowers planted on its back, it's the one doing the planting. The Gratitude Pokemon performs an important duty, absorbing toxins and pollutants into its body and transforming even the most barren land into lush fields of flower, ensuring nature always bounces back no matter what ecological disaster strikes. But that's not all. Upon coming in contact with a rare Gossidia flower, Shaman is able to assume its speedier and more powerful sky form, an astonishing upgrade which helps it both in spreading seeds far and wide and taking down any creature which dares to threaten its floral paradise. Lastly, we have Manaphy and its curious child Phione, who share one of the strangest relationships of any Pokemon out there. On its own, Manaphy is a happy-go-lucky water-type Pokemon who hatches from a special egg, which was originally only available by linking your copy of Diamond or Pearl to the spin-off game Pokemon Ranger. Manaphy's unique power is the ability to instantly bond with any creature, human, or Pokemon and form a connection with them. This helps it foster understanding and friendship, and most importantly, protect it and the seas from harm. Where things get weirder, however, is how Phione enters the mix. You remember how originally the only way to get Manaphy was to hatch it from an egg? Well, the only way to get Phione is to breed Manaphy with a Ditto, and only a Ditto. Two Manaphy together doesn't work for some reason, and it produces a different egg, which then hatches into Phione. So obviously that makes Phione the baby form of Manaphy that will evolve if given enough care and battle experience, right? No. Wrong. Phione is entirely standalone, incapable of evolving in defiance of all Pokemon convention and logic. But perhaps that's just the way things go in Sinnoh's legendary families. You can't join the club without an oddball relationship or two.
That's the same Phione from last night!
And with that, we've covered every legendary and mythical family in the Sinnoh region, from Arceus and its squabbling sets of triplets to Manaphy and its bizarrely out-of-place offspring. Sinnoh is home to many fascinating and powerful creatures, so feel free to let us know which ones are your favorites to catch and battle in the comments below. I'm Caboose with the Leaderboard, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more legendary gaming content every single week. We'll see you next time.